Live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, for your next Maine adventure, will begin shortly.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's having a nice Thursday evening out there. We have a little bit of snow moving in. Thanks for joining us tonight on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're viewing us. And shout out to our friends, of course, over at Rennie's. We are looking at a cloudy sky. We have some snow moving in tonight. Not a big storm. Most towns get 1, 2, 3 inches of snow. There might be a few spots close to the coastline from Casco Bay to Penobscot Bay where we'll get a little bit more. But this will be a pretty fluffy snow, a very manageable snow. And it's moving out very early in the day tomorrow. I've had a few questions from teachers already. Will we get the day off? Will we get some delays? I could see some delays, but I don't think there'll be many days off tomorrow. I think this one will be pretty manageable across the area. Again, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's jump into what we have out there this evening, and we can take a look at what we can expect tomorrow first. There will not be much snow tomorrow. Tomorrow, any early morning snow comes to an end. These numbers and these icons represent the conditions in the greater Portland area. So I think by 8 a.m., the snow is gone. In fact, it's probably moving out between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. from Sebago Lake Point south, from Portland Point southwest. The trend will be for brighter skies. I do want to draw your attention to the wind. The northwest wind tomorrow, it's going to be gusting probably around 30 miles per hour again. It's going to get a little windy during the course of our Friday. Midday and afternoon, the sun makes an appearance, but it gets quite windy. Let's start talking about the temperature first. We're at 31 degrees. I want to draw your attention to the dew point temperature. The reason I want to bring that up to you is because if you have dry skin, chapped lips, it's because of that number right there. That's going to play a role in our weather tonight as some of the precip tries to get in here as well. What's happening here is, when the precip tries to get in, on the radar, it looks like it might be snowing, but when the dew point is that low, the atmosphere is very, very dry. So a lot of that precip is not hitting the ground. And I think we're going to be dealing with some of that. It's very, very dry, but there's a pretty robust line for maybe a couple hours. We have some moderate bands of snow moving through. And again, this is not going to be a big storm system. We're probably in the lower end of a lot of the ranges, 2s and 3s. I think there'll be a bunch of those. 31 degrees. Today, of course, we made it to the mid 30s. We hit 37, I think, for a high in the Portland area today. There's a winter weather advisory. It's a low-end winter weather advisory for areas in the purple. That is Cumberland County, Androscoggin County, Kennebec County, Mid-Coast Maine, Oxford, Franklin County, Carroll County, Coos County. You get the idea here. These areas stand the greatest chance for getting 2 to 4 inches of snow. If we see some locally higher amounts, it's somewhere right at the coast, and it's somewhere between Casco Bay and Penobscot Bay, and that's due to a little inverted trough that's probably going to have some trouble forming, but those can sometimes be a little bit of a nightmare to forecast. They're very, very tricky. And when you have a very fluffy snow like we have out there tonight developing, the snow can pile up very quickly in these sort of setups here. The radar looks pretty healthy, though, right? Some dark shades of blue indicate some heavier bands of snow moving through New York, heading into Vermont, into New Hampshire right now. So we're on track to get some snow, just not much of it. Getting in a little bit closer, you can see what's hitting the ground is back into New Hampshire at this point. It's basically west of 93. There's Plymouth, Concord, Manchester, west of that region there. So I think we're pretty much on time for snow getting into southern and western areas around 9 p.m. It's getting up into central Maine, my guess around midnight. So 9 p.m. to midnight, that's your start time for some of the precipitation moving in, and it looks like it'll be moving out during the course of the morning tomorrow. Let's try to highlight these times for you one more time. This is the snow moving in. This is actually 1 o'clock in the morning. So notice 9 p.m. to midnight. That's your start time. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's your end time. And to be more specific, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. from Sebago Lake Point south. It pretty much comes to an end. The accumulating snow is pretty much over with. That's why I think the kids are going to have school tomorrow. There might be some delays, but I don't know. Do you have delay for an inch or two of snow? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get many of those. Slippery Friday morning commute, best chance for that, I think, is from central Maine all the way into mid-coast Maine where the snow hangs on longest. It may linger to about 9 a.m. From mid-coast central Maine to Penobscot Bay area. You see 7 o'clock in the morning right there. So the front end of this will have a pretty good thump of snow. We'll probably get easily an inch of snow right off the bat, probably around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then the trickier part of the forecast is what happens with this little feature right here. We call this little inverted trough. There's not a ton of moisture to work with this feature right here, but with the fluffy nature of the snow, anything that we get could produce some locally higher amounts. If we get any locally higher amounts than 2 to 4, it's somewhere between Casco Bay and Penobscot Bay. These things are a moving target. We probably won't know where it's going to set up until it actually does. So climatologically speaking, it's usually somewhere right across mid-coast or Penobscot Bay area. From experience, that's usually where it sets up. Tomorrow, most of the day is just fine. I think we have developing sun midday and afternoon. Look for a bright sky. Wind picks up tomorrow. It's going to get quite gusty. Winds tomorrow will gust probably 20 to 30 miles per hour. There'll be some peak gusts over 30 miles per hour. And then another little storm system. This one's going to just miss us to the south, I think, on Saturday. So all the snow with that one stays to our south. There may be a few passing snow showers on Saturday, though, especially in the mountains. Wouldn't be shocked to see some snow shower activity in the mountains there. Now, snowfall amounts, no changes. I think we're on the lower end of a lot of these, and I'll explain that here. A large portion of southern Maine from York County, southern New Hampshire, 1 to 3 inches will do it there, I think. Probably 1s and 2s. I think there'll be a lot of those. There'll be a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s as we go from central Maine up into the Bangor area, right up to the Rangeley Lakes region. Solid 1, 2, 3 inches should be expected there. Now, I think many areas in this region right here will get 2 to 4 inches of snow. That includes the greater Portland area. 2 or 3 will probably do it there. Same up into the Lewiston area. And there'll be a little bullseye in the mountains as well. There'll be some 2 to 4s up here. Now, if anyone gets 5 inches, there won't be many of them. It's due to that inverted trough. And it's somewhere between here and here, somewhere between Casco Bay and Penobscot Bay. There probably won't be many of those, but I included the chance for a few spots getting above the 2 to 4 in that region. Very low snowfall totals for most areas, very manageable, very fluffy snowfall totals, and it's gone early in the day tomorrow. So we should see improvement very quickly. Now let's go into the timing. 10 p.m. This is lining up quite nicely with our timing that we just outlined here. We talked about 9 p.m. to about midnight. So it's 9 p.m. probably here. It's closer to midnight up in here for the start time, up into central Maine and mid-coast Maine. So let's track that out. Notice we go into the overnight. We have a healthy looking future radar still. Most of our accumulating snow, we're talking 1, 2, 3 inches for most areas, or 2 to 3 inches for most areas, will probably be during the overnight hours. It's funny because there's a lot of modeling. Some of the latest modeling is indicating a huge hole right around Sebago Lake. We'll have to see if that plays out here. But again, I've been kind of mentioning that we're probably going to be in the lower end of a lot of those totals. I included a little bit of a range there, simply because anytime you're dealing with these inverted troughs and fluffy snow, they can cause some trouble, and that's something to watch. But my gut is this is a 1, 2, 3 inch snowfall event, and it's out of here. So 2 o'clock in the morning, it's snowing. Most of you will have the snow while you're sleeping. And here we are at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're starting to see the snow move out. So 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., the snow is coming to an end from, I said Sebago Lake points south, but it's probably more like Lewiston, Portland area points south and west. It's pretty much winding down. The accumulating snow is over with. Notice some passing snow showers here, but that is about it. As far as accumulating snow post 7 p.m., after 7 a.m., I mean, it's probably from Augusta to Waterville over to Rockland, Belfast, Camden area, right there. And it all depends on where that little inverted trough sets up. I mean, we're kind of harping on this thing, but I really don't think this is going to be a big deal at all. But it might be enough for some slippery travel into the morning hours tomorrow. Could there be some school delays? I guess it's possible. Probably not a cancellation day, though. That's my guess. I don't know. 1, 2 inches. I guess the roads could be slippery in spots. And they probably will, especially in central Maine and Penobscot Bay area. But by afternoon, here we go. The wind is picking up. The winds are out of the northwest. And my guess is we're getting gusts around 30 miles per hour. We'll get some gusts that will keep wind chills probably in the teens and 20s. We'll look at some of those gusts in a minute. And then Saturday is one of those days where it's just mostly cloudy. Notice some pop-up afternoon showers developing, snow showers. Not every town gets one, but there'll be some snow showers pushing through. It looks like Sunday's a little bit brighter. Temperatures both days will be in the upper 20s and low 30s. So notice a lot of clouds in there Sunday as well. Let's talk about the wind for a moment here. Winds tomorrow, they're picking up. This is about lunchtime. Winds won't be an issue very early in the day, but the winds are starting to pick up out of the northwest again. I don't think it's quite as strong as yesterday, but we'll get some gusts, probably over 30 miles per hour for many areas, and it's a stiff northwest wind. That northwest wind can be biting, as you know. Wind chills will probably be in the teens for many areas. There's your snow tonight. Lows tonight in the 20s. It's a fluffy snow. What's going to aid in the fluffy snow are the cold temperatures and very light winds. So the efficiency of accumulation is going to be very, very good tonight. But we don't have a lot of moisture to work with, so it's just not a lot of snow. There are no storms in the forecast. I mean, I don't even consider tonight a storm. Tonight's a little disturbance moving through. But I got to change that icon. That icon has snow there tomorrow, but if we get any snow during the day tomorrow, it's very, very early. We're talking 7, 8 o'clock or so. Most of the day is just fine. Midday and afternoon, we'll get some sun. Saturday looks mostly cloudy, partly sunny Sunday, and most of next week is going to be sunny. A big bubble of high pressure is going to park itself over us for the weekend, for next week, I should say, and that's going to keep temperatures first in the low 30s for highs, lows in the single numbers, but a trend will be for increasing amounts of sunshine as we go throughout the late week time frame here. So we will see a marked improvement as far as the temperatures go as we go into late week. There will be some melting going on. There's a storm that's going to try to get going next Friday. I think it gets going too far south of us or too far out to sea, which is part of the El Nino playbook. I mean, this has been an interesting season. Those strong to very strong El Ninos. You get storms that pass south of us. You have abnormally warm conditions, a lot of mixed events, and this one seems to be kind of just like we normally see for these strong El Nino events. But that will be waning in the coming months, and we'll have to see what happens in March here. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion the second part of March will come on pretty strong. So we'll see how that plays out. There's a live look at our Doppler with some of the snow moving in. Maybe I can take some of your questions real quick on the comments section here. And Thomas says, is there any real winter coming this year? My answer to that is probably no. I think it's kind of a wimpy winter. Troy says skiing time. Hey, I'm going skiing tomorrow. I actually have the day off tomorrow. So I worked Super Bowl Sunday night. So that's my reasoning. So I'm going to try to head up to, I think I'm going to Black Mountain, Maine tomorrow. Go up there for a little bit and maybe do some skiing with the kids. We'll see. From Augusta to Auburn tomorrow morning. We'll try to be okay. I think, Tammy, yeah, you might have a little bit of snow still around 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. That's the area the snow hangs on longest. But it looks like even there, it's moving out pretty quickly during the morning hours. Let's take you to about 9 o'clock in the morning. Here's your time frame, 2 a.m. So Tammy, there you are, 7 a.m. This might be a little quick getting it out, but from Augusta to Auburn right here, my guess is the accumulating snow is pretty much coming to an end at that window around 7 a.m. So those of you from central Maine, if you're traveling to Rockland, that inverted trough may still be playing games in that area there. So we'll see how that plays out. But all right, Troy wants a foot of snow. Not with this one, bud. I wish. That would be good. We factored in sleeping. Oh, yeah. All right, people want school off. I get it. Mrs. P wants school off. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to happen, Mrs. P. We'll see. But he says, is the inverted trough a Norland trough? Kind of like it, yeah. I just don't think there's a lot of moisture to work with this one, buddy. So they make me nervous, though. Anytime I see one like that, I'm like, oh, okay, that could produce 2 inches of snow very quickly. So not in the traditional sense. But yeah, so the inverted trough, what happens here is usually you get the transfer of energy from an area of low pressure, which you're seeing right here. So here's the primary area of low pressure coming up into New York overnight, and it's sending all this moisture and pressure falls down to another area of low pressure that's developing. We call that right along that triple point right there. So there's another low that develops, And a lot of times you can get a narrow band of moderate to heavy snow somewhere along the coastline in Maine in these what we call inverted troughs. They're a fancy term for basically a wind shift line. The winds come together, they rise, and you have rising air that produces some localized heavy snow. So that setup will probably happen. And if we get some localized heavier bands of snow, my guess is it's somewhere between Casco Bay and Penobscot Bay, and more likely near Penobscot Bay. But not in the classic sense. These can be a real headache sometimes. We haven't seen one this season though. Yarmouth, 2 or 3 inches. Aaron, I think you'll be okay there. Hi from Augusta. Oh, thanks, Troy. Appreciate it, bud. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for checking in tonight. I appreciate your kind words. Next storm Thursday into Friday. That's on the, I don't know. Well, there's a storm that tries to get going next Friday, Mark, but I think it might be too far south. I think the app might be a little out to lunch. We'll see. Maybe the app will beat my forecast. Do I have Thursday? I must have Thursday in the forecast. It's a 7-day forecast. Yeah, I have partly sunny skies, I think, on Thursday. Let's look. Yeah, partly sunny, 43. Oh gosh, hope the app doesn't beat me here, but yeah, I think we'll be partly sunny next week. We'll see. All right. Tammy says, thank you. Hello. Thank you very much. Hello from Augusta. Oh, Tammy says hello again. Augusta, probably about 2 inches, 2 or 3, somewhere in there. What are we thinking for Scarborough? 2 or 3. I think everybody gets 2 or 3. Actually, let's look at the snowfall amounts. Low end of these, I think. I don't think this is going to be a huge weather maker. I included 5 because of that fluffy snow. And if we see any upper ends of that, it's in those 2 circles, I think. Or 3 circles. Let's just put all of Casco Bay to Penobscot Bay in there. But I don't think there'll be many of those. A lot of 2 to 4s, a lot of 1 to 3 south, a lot of 1 to 3s north. Very, very manageable. How much for Hollis? I was looking at Hollis. 1 to 3, I think. Stacy. 3 to 5 for Sydney. Yeah, probably in the lower end of that, I guess. Barbie. I hope that helps. How much snow for OB? James, 1 to 3 probably. I think you're probably going to end up there. Hope that helps. Any school closures in Franklin County? I doubt it, Connor. I don't know, man. I know you guys all want school off. Maybe some delays here and there. I don't. It's Friday before vacation, though. I don't know if superintendents want to just say, hey, it's Friday before vacation, kids are going to be checked out anyway. This might be an excuse, to be honest with you. That might actually work out all right. It's good to live in Augusta, or it's good to live in Augusta. Yeah, Troy says. How much will Wyndham get? 2 or 3, probably. If anyone gets on the upper ends of these, it's probably right at the coastline. That's probably how it's going to set up. Oh, windy. Yeah, windy. It's going to get windy here, Alexandra. Probably midday, you'll feel that wind picking up out of the northwest. Midday to afternoon, gusts over 30 out of the northwest. Laugh aloud. Foot will be smog. Oh, no, come on. Be nice, Melissa. You're not getting a foot tomorrow. Nobody's getting a foot tomorrow, Melissa. Thanks for checking in. A sneaky 6, Jasper says. I like the prediction up in Rangeley. Oh, that would be nice. And everybody will be happy going into school vacation week, right? A lot of snow to ski on. How does it look in Freeport? 2 to 4. Nina, I think you'll get 2 to 4. North Gorham, Wyndham, 2 or 3, somewhere in there. I could see there's a lot of dry air. I could see a lot of dry air producing some 1s. A lot of 1s, I think, south. Like in York County, I could see a lot of 1s. Yeah. School delays in Western Maine. It's possible, Aaron. Possible. Thanks so much. You're welcome, Tammy. I think I've checked everybody's question. Hell, I like Al. Don't depress me, Lopresti. I like it. That's a good one. Let's go with that. The guys at our local transfer station, they said every time I'm forecasting a storm, they call me Charlie Depress Me. I thought that was kind of funny. I never heard that before. Charlie depressed me. But a lot of people like snow. Troy says, is there any real... All right, I answered this one. No, it's kind of a wimpy winter. Although I do think March comes on strong mid-month. Mid-month March. Yeah, right around St. Patrick's Day, we'll get storms. Skiing time. All right. I'm with you. Let's go skiing. I stopped cross-country skiing. There's not enough snow. All right. Will I be able to capture the snow with photos around 8:30 in Kennebunk? No, it's over very early, probably Morgan. I think it's pretty much over with probably 5, 6 a.m. down in Kennebunk. You might get some snow showers coming through, but the accumulating snow, I think it's over with at that point. Wind chills, Amanda. Yeah, tomorrow, wind chills teens. It's going to be cold. Waldoboro. Ooh, all right. So you go up to Waldoboro, Midcoast, Maine. Go get some. The highest totals will be Midcoast, I think. Still probably 2 to 4 though. I don't know. It's that kind of winter where we're like, can we get the higher amounts of 2 to 4? It's just we haven't had any snow. If this was a normal winter, we'd be like, all right, whatever, Charlie. Whatever, right? We can handle this. All right. If you're just joining us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the timing one last time, and we'll put this one to bed here. So Wanda, yeah, Waldoboro's probably 2 to 4. All right. So here we are at 10 o'clock tonight. Snow's moving in. A solid round of snow overnight for most areas. It's coming to an end from Sebago Lake to points south, 5 to 7 a.m. In fact, at this point in the morning tomorrow, I think the only areas seeing accumulating snow will be right here where that inverted trough is going to try to set up, and in the mountains where upslope snow is trying to develop as well. There could be some sneaky spots on the western slopes and notches in New Hampshire and in the western mountains of Maine. Sugarloaf, Saddleback, they can benefit from this. Bretton Woods gets sneaky heavy snow in these sort of setups. Everywhere from Twin Mountain to Jefferson to Randolph, New Hampshire, the notches like Crawford Notch, Dixville Notch, Pinkham Notch, those areas could pull out. I could see some spots pulling out a half foot of snow in a very short period of time in those areas. And a lot of that's just due to the upslope snow during the day tomorrow. And you'll get some sneaky kind of on and off snow throughout the weekend as well in that area. So hope that kind of outlines the situation. And by afternoon, the sun's out. So most of tomorrow is just fine. So a lot of folks that are hoping to have the day off from school. I don't think that we are going to see a lot of that happening, but maybe some delays. We'll see. Enjoy the light snow that we have falling. Easy to clean up. In fact, my plan is to just drive over. It's not going to be much, hopefully, and enjoy some sun developing and a decent looking weekend, a storm-free forecast. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks to our friends at Rennie's, and hope everybody has a nice night.
Live, interactive CBS 13 and Fox 23 Weather Authority coverage for your next Maine adventure has been sponsored by Rennie's.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23 on air, online, and through these social channels. Thank you for watching.